Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good evening. My name is Azif Mustafa. You are tuned in to Stay Kind, your weekly live show where we talk about kindness of all types and of all persuasions. We talk to everybody around the world about the kindness that they've seen and the kindness that we've seen. And my co hosts and I will be able to discuss many different issues and many different topics, but all surrounding what we would call kindness. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have a fantastic show lined up for you. It is called the Ability Episode. Now, why it's called the Ability Episode, once we call in our special guest for tonight, you will be very clear about that. But before that, I would like to bring on my co-host for tonight, Carl Chung. Apa khabar, Carl?
Apa khabar? Khabar baik. Khabar baik.
Nice to see you. It's been a while since we've hosted together this
Yes,
show.
yes.
Nice to have you back. So, how have you been?
Good. Happy to be back and happy to see that, our Klang Valley is slowly opening up.
Yep.
So that's a good thing for everybody.
Yeah, it's a good sign. However, other states now are feeling the crunch and getting their numbers up there. We don't want that either. So let's pray for safety for all of us.
Yes,
And
definitely.
we do have another co-host. He's having a bit of issues with his network, but let me try and call him in. We have Rahim Osman. Rahim, are you there? No, doesn't look like Rahim is able to join us at this moment. Perhaps he'll come back in just a bit. So, Carl, we are talking about abilities and
Yes.
the ability show tonight. And we have a very interesting topic that actually Rahim Osman brought to our attention, which is the Abilympics. And have you heard of the Abilympics before we started researching this show?
Well, Azif, I've definitely heard of Olympics. I've also heard of Paralympics and our recent, happiness and sadness there. But Abilympics is actually the first time I'm actually hearing about it, and I'm really curious what's it's all about.
Yep. So for all of you tuning in tonight, could you please say hello in the chat and tell me who you are, where you're from, where you're tuning in from? We'd be happy to have you on the show. And if any questions we have for our guest, and I'm going to bring her on right now, is Datin Wira Ungku Ashiela. Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Salam
Nice to
sejahtera.
have you. Great
Yes,
to
I'm
have
glad
you on
to
the
be here.
show.
Yes, I'm glad to be here tonight.
Thanks so much for taking the time off and joining us. And you are actually forgive me if I'm wrong, was it the vice chair of Abilympics Malaysia?
Yes, I'm the vice chair number one because our chairman is actually Datin Paduka Khatijah Sulaiman. And she sends her regards to everybody. And she's so glad that you are giving this opportunity for us to spread the word about Abilympics.
We're very happy to oblige. How do I address you, Datin?
I think you can call me Sheila. Everybody calls me Sheila.
I see. Nice to meet you, Sheila. It's the first time we've met. Thanks again to Rahim. I hope he does manage to join us in a bit. But we were just chatting right before you got on board. I mean, we've heard of Olympics, Paralympics, obviously with our Ziad and our Latif Terbang and all of our heroes of the Paralympic Games. Not many people have actually heard of the Abilympics. So perhaps you'd like to share with us your personal journey. Before you go into that, how did you get involved in Abilympics?
Okay. It's actually what you call it serendipity. I was looking for something else and I found something great.
Wow.
Because I was working in LLN TMB for 22 years before I decided to take an optional retirement to start my own business, which actually I'm really interested in. My passion is developing people. So I started my own training company, Home ISS. And we do a lot of leadership training and also technical training in the energy sector. And with the onset of COVID, it slowed down a bit. And I started to pursue my real passion is actually in doing social work. because it started with me in Pelitawanis. Pelitawanis is a NGO under Tenaga Nasional, which we do a lot of charity work. And I really fell in love with it, and it spread my wings, and I met a lot of people. And I was lucky to meet Datin Paduka Khatijah Sulaiman, which is the president of MCR, Malaysian Council for Rehabilitation, which is the organizer for Abilympics. And when she introduced me to Abilympics, I said, this is it. And I really want to help it get to another level. She's been doing such a great job with Abilympics, which is actually the Olympics of ability. It's not sports, it's basically vocational.
Right.
And vocational training, I think, gives a platform and gives a future for people with disabilities, and it helps them get employed. And this competition, which is an international level, will give them confidence and will showcase them like, hey, I can compete at international level. You know?
Wow. So it happens I understand, every 3 to 5 years, or
Yeah. Actually, it happens every 4 years. Can I like show the slides? So
sure,
like,
I'll share your slides for you. There you go.
yeah. Okay. So we could see that this is actually the ability plus Olympics, because it takes place on international platform, and it takes place every 4 years. So that's why it's called Abilympics. And we can see the main aim is actually to make these people with disabilities employable. You know, when they have confidence and we train them on the skills, this will help them hopefully get employed. And this is our main intention.
Right.
So the first International Abilympics happened in 1981 in Tokyo, Japan. And the second one was in Bogota, Colombia. But we did not participate then because we were not very organized. And then the third one was in Hong Kong. So after that, MCR was elected to organize it in Malaysia. That's when we really was able to participate in Perth, Australia. And then the next one in 2000 was in the Czech Republic, but we couldn't participate then. And when we are better organized, that's when we joined the one in New Delhi, subsequently in Japan, South Korea, France, and actually we're supposed to have another one in 2020 in Moscow, but because of COVID, that's when it's being postponed. First to 2021 this year, but we still couldn't have it. So now definitely we're going to have it in Russia next year.
Wow, that's very exciting. So, we have Rahim Osman back in the house. Hello, Rahim.
Hi, everybody.
What
Good
happened?
evening. I don't know. This is what people call it Murphy's Law. Suddenly, when I wanted to download Datin's slide just now, suddenly the line dropped totally, and I had to reboot everything from the
Oh,
Wi-Fi and also the laptop. Sorry, guys.
no worries at all.
Yeah,
Are you
go
are
ahead.
you
Go
ab-
ahead.
are you able to share the slide, Rahim? Perhaps you can have a full slide if you can try that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Well,
Haven't resolved, eh?
yeah. In the meantime, Sheila can continue with her presentation.
You know, our participation in the Abilympics International is totally funded on donation. And we are very lucky that Allianz is our main strategic partner to sponsor us, Tenaga Nasional, and also Rumah Amal Cheshire Selangor. And also the trainers, SIAS, Polytechnic, Leaf Flower Design, UITM, and Dr. Sabzali Musa Khan. These are the main supporters of Abilympics because they give the skills training for free. They really train these participants so that they can compete at the international level. And of course, we are supported by the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development, Ministry of Human Resource, and Ministry of Education Malaysia. And we are slowly also introducing Abilympics to this ministry to at least get funding for the training.
Right.
Yeah,
So
but
even now, even the training is being funded by sponsors.
yes,
Wow.
yes. But except for like our community college, they train the participant on culinary, and we are so grateful because they are very they collaborate with us to train these students. So as you can see, that's Datuk Khatijah, and that's our Miss Rose Ng. She's a vice chairman too, and she's also an interpreter. We need her, and we need more interpreters to be with us in. Oh, Rahim, you got it up?
Yeah. Can you go to that
Can you
slide,
see?
Rahim?
Which
Yeah.
slide is that?
Just
Yeah.
keep
Is
going
this the one?
forward. Just keep going forward. We'll see it soon.
So
Okay, it's pretty slow.
yeah. So this she's also an interpreter, and we will bring along with us to Russia several interpreters
Wow.
because the competition will be going on in parallel, and some of our participants are deaf.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is this sorry? Is this the slides?
No,
Or
keep
more?
going for. Keep
Keep
going.
going.
okay.
This one.
Nope.
Yep.
Keep going. Yes.
Yes, this one.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay.
So I can. Okay. Next. That's Rahim. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So you could see that in 1995, when we participated in Australia, we couldn't participate in a lot of categories because there's actually 55 categories where we can show or compete with the vocational skills. But in 1995, we could only participate in car driving. You could see from the slide, English word processing, and 2003, only two, chess and silk, and painting. And this is our achievement. So when we got all these medals, it's sort of like push us forward and give us all the confidence to actually train more people for this program. And the last one in France, we managed to get a gold medal in photography. And
Wow.
we're so proud. We're so proud of him. And it's sad that nobody knows about it, right? We got
Yeah.
gold. Yeah, and this is an international event. So
Well, there's plenty of audience members right now, and I'm sure some of them are very happy to help, at least to publicize. So, guys tuning in tonight, could you please share the story, share this post on your feed so more and more people will understand and will realize what the Abilympics is and how they can support. So, with that question, Datin, how can somebody tuning in today? For example, Khairul Anwar ke, Nizam Ramli ke, how can they help to support the Olympics?
yeah, okay, we have already trained 16 participants for Moscow. But when we come back from Moscow, we want to train them for the next Olympics, which will happen in another 4 years. And it depends on which country will bid to host the next Olympics, right? So actually, to get these PWDs, people with disabilities, to participate is not really easy because we have to find them, we have to coach them and encourage them.
Right.
And to find these people, normally we have a national event to choose the best. And also we need trainers like I say, there's 55 categories which I will share later. But we need people to train them so that when they represent our country, it's up to a certain level. Those are the two challenges, and that's why the people here is like, if you see this category and know where you can help in the training, as well as you know someone which you think, hey, this person can represent our country in this category. Yeah, I know someone, that. And also, when we have these candidates, we actually want them to be employed.
Right.
That will be great because that's the main objective, to get them
Yep.
employable.
Employed. Yeah, that is a key issue. Of course, in the corporate world, we try very, very little, I must admit. But in Celcom, for example, where I work, we do
Yeah.
have people with disabilities at the front line. They are manning our stores. We have a few people with hearing disabilities, and we try and build that inclusive workplace. So I think with more and more, I think awareness of inclusiveness and why that's important, I think more companies will be willing to support these sort of efforts. So maybe I'll open up to my co-host, perhaps Carl, if you have a question for Datin.
Yes. Basically, these people, they undergo training, and they build world class competency, I believe. What is their future when they come back? Do you track them, how they progress with their lives?
That's a very good question, and we do some like Lim Anwar, which is Lim Anwar. He he joined in several categories, silk hand painting, and he got gold medal in South Korea. And I can tell you, he's very successful. He's a landscape artist. He
Wow.
paints, and his arts sells for quite a sum.
Wow, and he has been part of the Abilympics for many years.
Yes, but this year in Moscow, because he's giving chance to others. He has won a gold medal already.
Wow. Excellent.
Ah,
Yeah, and what I would like to do for Lim is actually to introduce him to the corporate world, where probably he can do paintings for your company, or murals, or landscape painting, whatever. This is where we need to help them. You see, we need to market their products and showcase them.
Right. If I may
right.
ask, what is his disability?
He's deaf.
Okay, so hearing
So,
impaired. Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
see.
yes.
Wow, it's amazing.
But he's
Okay.
an amazing painter, and there's so many others too. Like, just like you see, Hema, he has gold. He got gold medal for us under photography. And when I interviewed him, he says he really hope that he can be a photographer for National Geography.
Wow.
And they have the aspiration of starting their own business, having their own studio. This is where I talked to Rahim. Where can we get a startup, a special startup for people with disability, a special niche for them?
Mm. An incubator of sorts.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would
they,
be amazing.
and they
Mm.
have to be evaluated on slightly different scale than normal people.
Yep.
Probably they can collaborate with someone else, because when it comes
Uh,
to business,
what is Hema's disability?
he's also hearing impaired, deaf.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
I
normally,
think, sorry, if I can suggest, Datin, if
yeah.
you can actually, because some of these people, right, they have a very high skill in terms of certain perspective. So very important, I think, in order to ensure that they can pursue their goal, right, especially in starting up their business or something like that. So probably you can identify the pilot groups you can actually push forward, and this is where again, probably the meeting that I'm supposed to arrange with you and also Encik Hilal from Pernas. This is where again, can actually push and encourage these people to actually start talking and start presenting this perspective.
Yes, that's very good. Yeah, that's why I need more people like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, and we'd love to hear from our audience as well. If you have any ideas, any comments, any views, go ahead and put it in the chat, and we will highlight those views for all right here. So excellent, Datin. So we know that we have the talent. We obviously we can compete at the global level at the Olympics. So I think what you mentioned was the challenge is training them, and obviously also getting the funding. I'm sure it's costly to go for overseas competitions this way. So, as you mentioned, it was basically funded by sponsors that you mentioned just now,
yes.
and you've not been able to get any funding from the Kementerian from our government.
But for this awareness campaign, the ministry is helping us, and we are working very closely with the Ministry of Human Resource, because we want to say that they are a human resource to
Yes.
the country, and at least we want to get funding from now until next May, that we're going to Russia. From now till May, we want to give them the last training, at least for 3 more trainings. And each trainings is actually a bit costly because of the materials they need. And maybe next slide we can show which categories we are going into in Russia. So this is our achievement. You see, we did get some gold and we did get some medal, and this is what pushes us that, hey, we need to encourage more people to join. Next, right? Thanks. Next. Okay, this is how we choose them. Okay, we have the awareness campaign, and then we have competition at the state level, and then at the national level, and the winners, the number one at national level, will go into the international Olympics competition. Next. Okay, this is our milestone until we go to Russia. Next. This one. So we just received this from the organizer in Russia, and they say it's going to happen on May 23rd,
Finally, yeah.
finally. So I get to go to Russia too. And
Excellent.
right now, 26 countries have participated, and there's 719 delegates, 532 contestants, and 187 judges. I think we have submitted 2 names from Malaysia to be the judges at this competition.
Wow,
And
there's a comment here from our one of our guests. Fortunately, I can't see her name. No, actually, it's Nurul Fatia. Nurul Fatia Muin is saying, "I hope some startups or organizations will come forward and provide them with endless possibilities to be successful, not just for CSR's sake." Very good comment.
yes,
Thank you so much.
that really means a lot to us.
Thank you so
That
much.
is what we want. We want them to be employed because they have the confidence, and now they know that they are at par with the people, with normal people, and maybe even better. So we should get some job opportunities or business opportunities. So next, right? So these are the countries, the 26 countries that will be participating. And we see there, Malaysia there. Next. These are the 55 categories that is out there for us to compete in. But right now we are only participating in 16 categories because we
Okay.
need training partners, strategic partners. So the more people we send and train, the more funds we need.
Well, the more you're saying about training and human capital, Datin, I'm thinking of HRD Corp because we had on this show Siti Suryati Kama. She is the Chief Human Resources Officer of HRD Corp. I personally know Datuk Shahul Daud. I'm course mates with Datuk Arif Farhan, who's the COO. So what I will do for you is immediately introduce you to HRDF Corp. They just produced a report actually this year about inclusivity and of people with disabilities at the workplace. So I think it fits very nicely with them. They've just been incorporated. It was HRDF dulu kan, HRD Fund. Now they're called HRD Corp. And let's try and get Abilympics Malaysia and HRD Corp together and see how what kind of strategic partnerships we can get there. So inshallah, I'll do my best to open the doors for you.
Thank you. That's really wonderful.
So yeah, for the rest of the audience, we'd really love to hear from you. What else you have in mind? How else we can either crowdsource, crowdfund, crowd train. Training is very important. I think between the three of us here, Azif, Carl, and Rahim, we could probably come up with something to train in one of these categories. We have many training partners. We have many people with,
before they go to Russia, maybe you can give them some pep talks and
for sure.
to motivate them.
Okay, this I will commit right now. So if you have a slot for motivation talk, I'm there. I commit to having a session with them. I'll be happy to
and then
train
we have
them.
our interpreter. I'm trying to learn sign language, but haven't done that yet.
Excellent. I'm definitely.
I'm in also.
There you go. Rahim is committed.
Let me know
because there's
how
a lot
we can
of
help.
category on information technology. So we are participating in web design, computer assembly.
Wow.
That's Rahim's part.
Yes.
Okay,
and
all right.
And
I got one space there.
Yeah, and if we haven't introduced actually all of us, you know Rahim obviously. Carl is actually a
Feng Shui consultant.
So perhaps Feng Shui.
Feng Shui.
Yes. So perhaps they can help in somehow in setting up the teams and so on and so forth. We'll see how we can help with that.
Yeah.
Okay, next, Rahim. I can't wait to introduce our participants. Our Abilympians. So this is our Abilympians. I'll next slide probably you can see them in person. So you see it's painting, skill painting, restaurant service, cake decoration, cooking, dressmaking, embroidery, photography, computer assembly, data processing, web processing, web page design. So these are the 16 categories we are going. 15 categories, but 16 participants. Okay, next, Ryan. Are you okay? Next. Okay, so this is it.
Wow.
This is okay. Yunshan Kun, and I talked to him, and his ambition is to have his own business. And currently working with baking assistant at Silent Teddy Bakery. Silent Teddy Bakery is I'm really like amazed with them. They have a bakery which employs people with disability, and can you see that he's a computer expert, and because he can't work anywhere, and whatever job they have. So this is what I mean. I think they deserve to be able to showcase their skills. And also Liu Xing Feng, he's a web page designer, and right now he's working with Tune Insurance. That's great, but he wants to pursue his master's degrees in AI.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, that's a new direction of IT.
Yes, so we want to be able to give them that opportunity. Next, right? Next, okay. You see, Khairunisa, she's doing word processing, and she's an admin assistant in Pejabat Kebajikan Masyarakat. Well, who wants to also pursue her master's degrees, and actually, when talking to her, she wished she could work in the IT department because that's her strength, right? But I guess it's not easy. It's not the same level playing field for them. Yeah. And Najwa has learning disability, but I guess this disability make them more focused, so they can just do one thing and they do it well. Yeah, even if that's the only thing they know how to do, but they do it well. And she's representing Malaysia in Moscow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, impressive.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay, next. Okay, next is Anis. Anis is she has multiple disability, and she now own her own business. She sells and she sews prayer garments online, and she is representing us in the category of embroidery
Wow.
in Moscow. And this one, we have to thank UITM. They are really passionate and they really focus in training our participants. And they're very dedicated, the lecturers there in UITM.
Wow.
And Sharon,
Very admirable.
yeah. And Sharon Nizam, I interviewed him, and he is a tailor, and his business is doing well, but he's doing it in his house. And I think he says he needs to expand, at least extend his house or get his own workshop, because there's not much space anymore. And this is where he says he just needs about maybe $30,000 just to have his own workshop somewhere. Yeah, he's really good. He's representing us in dressmaking, basically. And
for this kind of business, you are talking about microfunding. So
Yeah.
microfunding actually, if you approach some organization within MEDAC, Ministry of Entrepreneur and Cooperative. Again, other than Pernas, can also connect you to some other organization within that ministry to pursue on this microfunding, which they can provide up to 50,000 to 100,000 to start with.
Yes. I really want to take you up on that, Rahim. I'll buy you coffee.
Okay, no problem. My pleasure.
So, and Chi Lei Peng, she is in the dressmaking advanced category, and she's right now a seamstress at Lamwa EE Hospital. We're so glad that she has a job there. Next. Yes, this is the first time we're going to compete in this category, which is cake decoration, restaurant services, and cooking. And all the three of them, they want to have their own business. This is where I really want to support, because they have learning disability, and this is the only way they can shine is in the culinary. And like you say, Hanif is a barista. He hopes to open a cafe with his friends. And I think he can, just need that, Rahim, a bit of modal.
Yeah.
And
I guess we can pick up some of these people to as a pilot group if you want to push for some of these funding opportunities.
And Afiq, he is now selling burgers and donuts, but he's capable of more than that. And also, Hafizuni is now a baker at Felda Air Mata Padang Besar. We really would like to visit him there, but because of COVID, we couldn't. But we will bring them in Kuala Lumpur to be trained at least 3 more times before we go to Moscow. Because how they work is that they will already give us a task assignment. Like, we know what we're going to compete in and what are we going to do there. It won't change much. So once we get this task, maybe in November, we can start training them on the task that they're going to compete. Yeah. So this is the logistic, to pay the trainers, to buy the things. This is where we need the funding.
Right.
Next. Now this is very interesting. Nur Amiratul Farahim, she's really good in painting, and she's a designer and artist, and her ambition is she wants to be a fashion designer. And our Amran bin Hamid, he's now working in the social welfare as an assistant, social welfare assistant. but he really wants to try to succeed in his painting. So how we can help him is that we need to show him what is current, what is trendy. You know, sometimes when they paint, they need someone in the fashion world out there saying, "Hey, this is the design that's in now." Those kind of things would be really welcome to help them
Right.
when they come back. Next, Ray. Yeah, this is our photography participants, and we have Darwisi, and Darwisi really wants to own his own business. And what I was thinking, maybe we can have a studio where we can rent to these people at minimal fees, because they can like make it their own business, but to own their own studio is another issue, right? This is where we welcome ideas on, co-sharing studio. Like you have co-sharing office, right?
Yeah, precisely. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Because if you own something, you got to pay the rental, blah 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 blah.
So for photography, do you already have a training partner? Some like
UITM.
yeah, because they have a good fine art school, right?
Yes, the one in
UITM.
Puja Alam.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. That's why I mooted the idea, like maybe one of your studio here, you can for these people to come and take for, like, if they're taking pictures for advertising or advertisement or whatever their client wants, they can rent that space or come and do it.
But currently, they've already received training from UITM.
Yep.
Okay, it's great.
That's why, and their star is of course Hema.
The gold medalist.
Yes. And we have really high hopes for the other two.
Excellent.
Yeah, there's outdoor and also the studio. Yeah, next. Yeah, Yunus, how look at his creation. It's like, wow,
Amazing.
amazing. So amazing.
Probably I could have one.
Yeah, you can order something from him. This is so that's it. That's last. The others are pictures. You can just show the pictures, Rahim.
Yeah.
That's our participants at work. This is how we train them to be world class. Yeah. Next. They work. Yeah. That's why one of the important factors is also the sign language interpreter. That's Dr. Sabzali and that's Rose. Dr. Sabzali is really passionate about this. He trains, and I think what is going to be new in Moscow is painting using used material or discarded materials. That's going to be new. Yeah. So we need to know more about it and train our people. Okay, that's it.
Wow. I mean, it's so inspirational what you're doing and how we're helping this community. I think we really would like to help as far as we can, and create a movement. I think it really deserves more attention. We really need to be more supportive of this. There's a comment from Khairul Anwar here, says, Datin, kita boleh jadikan mereka selaku mentor untuk peringkat sekolah menengah ataupun di college vocational untuk pupuk minat.
Yes.
Yeah, we can use them.
Yeah, I would like that, but maybe even during this COVID, if they can't have it physical, we can have it like this.
Yes, like what we're doing now. I mean, our show, Rahim, Carl, and I would be more than happy to have them on a special show. We can have interpreters, to translate what they're saying if they're signing. I do know a couple of interpreters who teach at Sekolah Pendidikan Khas, for example, who are able to sign. And we can have a special show with them. Just bring them on board before you go and generate more support for them. We'll be happy to provide this platform for them.
Yeah, and as if like if you know people from Sekolah Pendidikan Khas, maybe we can train them for the next Abilympics.
Exactly. Yeah. Find
Yes.
out, the potentials.
We have 4 years
The high
to do
performers.
that. Because there's no age limit here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even in the Olympics, right? We had 12-year-old girl winning the skateboarding gold for the Olympics. So why not send our youngsters as well? So I believe really that in what the main issue is communication, how to generate enough interest and awareness from the public about your athletes. They are really athletes, the Olympians, right? So these Olympians, what I would probably just off the top of my head, let's brainstorm now. So
Yeah.
I think what we could try and find among all of us is a advertising agency, either an online agency or traditional agency, take this on as a CSR project and really build a profile, really build campaigns surrounding all of our Olympians. How many athletes did we see just now? 20,
16.
16 different categories, right? So there's 16 people going to Moscow. So
Yeah.
let's tell a story about that. Let's put them in online. Let's put them in the news. Let's put them on TV and make sure everybody knows about it and get enough support for them to really generate something. Maybe not even for them, but for the next 4 years, right? For the next one. We don't know where the next one is yet.
We don't.
After
I
Moscow.
think at these Abilympics, some countries will try to bid.
Yeah.
In France, Russia and China bid for hosting it, and Russia got it. So we don't know who's going to bid this time. But
Right.
the moment we come back from Moscow, we will start looking for people to be the next Abilympians.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
we
So,
hope to have more categories.
like you said, there's plenty more, right? There's 52, did you say?
55 categories.
55 categories. And
We
we're only
have,
participating in 16 this time.
yes, we have wood carving, which we should be able to do it.
Exactly.
Because we have our timbers here, and we have the companies, the association.
Yep. Yep. So again, to our audience, if you have any other suggestions, anything you want to commit, anything you want to suggest, we'd be happy to hear from you. Datin, how it works is we may not have that many live audience, but this entire show will be recorded, and it's always on my profile on LinkedIn. It's also on YouTube, so I'll give you that link that you can share around. So we'll always, there's always people who are going to be watching this. And if you are watching this right now, we want you to reach out and see how you can help our Olympians go to Moscow and then compete at a world level and bring back some glory for our country representing Malaysia.
Yeah, maybe Azib, we can invite you to go to Moscow with us.
I'd love to. I'd love to. So now, even right now, we have so many commitments already. I have committed to speak with them if given the slot. I've committed to provide this platform, Stay Kind, to the Olympians and anybody else. If Datin Paduka Katija would like to come on board, we're happy to have her as well. And
Yeah.
any of the training partners, we're happy to support them. I'm also looking at how we can support how we can promote it, right? So one of them is this platform, the platform I have on LinkedIn and on YouTube, and any other platforms that we have between myself, Carl, Rahim. We have several other co-hosts as well, who will probably be very happy to help promote this cause as well.
Yeah, you can see that Rose Ng wrote something. She's the
Hi,
second
Rose.
vice chairman. She's the second vice chairman of Abilympics.
Thank you for
And
coming
she's
on board.
she's an interpreter.
Oh.
Ah,
You might
Wow.
see her on TV sometimes, doing
Yeah.
sign language. And if we get a visa, Rose and I will probably be going to Moscow in November next month. In November to share some things about how we can make it, give our ideas for the next for the event in 2022. Things and we probably present some things about our Olympians, and I hope that will happen, right, Rose? Yeah, Rose has been
Excellent.
longer on this than me.
All the best, all the best. I think what you're doing is really inspirational because, well, uh, the important thing is to en- to enable the disabled.
Yes.
Yep.
And I
Excellent.
like what you said earlier, inclusivity,
Right.
especially for the future of work. The
Yep.
future
And
of work is probably different.
of course, now COVID, of course, has its problems, but also its blessings. We all know now that we can do all of this work from home remotely. So you know, ability doesn't. It's the great leveling factor, right? So if somebody has hearing disabilities, for example, and they can type and they can work online, it doesn't make any difference if it were me or somebody else with hearing disability. If all we do is work online and type. So I think COVID brought that about in the corporate world. But I really feel that the main key issue is communications and creating awareness and creating excitement among the population, among all Malaysians, supporting. So you've seen how we promoted our Paralympians, right? How Ziad has become a huge star and how Latif has become a huge personality. Everybody knows them now. So we need to do the same to all of our Olympians. We need to
Exactly.
put them on TV. We need to build billboards and posters of them. So we need experts to come on board. So let's reach out. All of us, I'm sure, know somebody who is in the field, who is a communications expert, who is a media expert. Let's bring them on board and let's see how we can help our Olympians reach their potential.
Yes, and if you can work with the special ed school, special education school, yeah, they should be representing us, right?
Yes, for sure. So we're almost out of time, Nadine. It's been a very exceptional show, I think, for us, very inspirational. I think I speak on behalf of Carl and Rahim and myself. We're very proud to have you on board, and we're very proud to do this little bit of trying to promote this great effort that you're doing and what the association is doing. And we hope to be able to have you back on the show, perhaps with some of your Olympians.
Yeah.
Rose Ng, you're more than welcome to come on board, help us interpret. Perhaps if you bring your Olympians on board, we'll be happy to have you.
Yeah, I must say, congratulations. And this is also the first time I hear about all of you doing this stay kind thing from Rahim. And I think this is a good job, guys. And you should keep on this good work. And I'm
Thank,
your number one fan now.
thank you so much. No, we are
Thank
your
you.
fans.
Thank you.
So I'll
Thank
just go
you.
around the table. Perhaps Carl to close.
Check out.
Again, I have a special empathy because I'm actually blind on one eye due to a car accident. So I understand what it is to live with a disability. So definitely applaud the efforts that you are putting in to actually inspire all of them. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Karen.
Rahim.
Yeah, I definitely happy to actually being able to introduce this new chapter into this Stay Kind, and hopefully, beyond this live session, but of course, before this also, we also did some promotion in our LinkedIn. I think especially Azif, he has more followers than anybody else. So I'm sure after this, this thing can be further expanded. And like I said before, I think one of the concerns that actually is what happened to them after they come back from the Olympics, right? So I think in this case, probably like I said, just focus on the low hanging fruits, quick wins, identify the pilot group who are really good, so that we can actually showcase some of these people to get some of this participation from some of these organizations, especially the one that have this CSR high in their chapter. I'm sure Celcom also got that chapter as well. Now, of course, they call it ESG or whatever. But like Pernas, for example, I know that they also have this CSR. So if you can identify who are the people that you can push forward, the good ones to start with, and I'm sure we can actually show some of these success stories.
Cool.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
Yeah.
for you, Datin Ungku, if you could like to wrap up, what were your key takeaways from our conversation tonight?
Yeah, you know, you all of you have given us like hope that we are doing the right thing, and you give ideas. Sometimes it's just me, Rose, and Dr. Paduka. We need this. This is what we really need, like ideas. You know, Carl. Uh, we want to bring it to the next level because giving opportunities and giving people hope is what it's all about, right?
Right.
I think this COVID has a plus side, which makes everybody kinder when want to stay kind. So that's the silver lining in this,
Yes.
and
Yes.
especially people with disability, they need that extra kindness.
Right. So yeah, we hope to support you. Let's make it real, Rahim. Let's set up a Zoom call with Sheila and Rose and Datin Paduka and our Growth Academy Malaysia team. Let's all brainstorm and come up with some concrete steps that we can help
Yes.
them for Moscow specifically, because it's not too far away. Let's do something real and make sure this happens. So let's set that up very quickly. One more thing I did commit to was introduce you to HRDF Corp. I will introduce you to the COO, or the CEO himself, hopefully within these next few days. And let's set up this Zoom call for us to do this strategic session with them. Right, Rahim? So with that,
Yeah.
ladies and
I'll be
gentlemen,
more than happy. Yeah.
thank you so much for tuning in. We're so happy to have all of you on board. And if you're watching live or a recording of this, we're happy to have you. And please put in the comments with your suggestions and views and how we can help our Abilympians represent Malaysia in the upcoming Abilympics in Moscow, Russia. So with that, we'd like to thank you. Stay kind, stay safe wherever you are. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.
Fighting, fighting.
Fighting, fighting. We can do
Thank you.
this.
Thank
To
you.
Russia.
Bye.